Our Mother Earth is a wonderful arrangement of all the living forms from unicellular to multicellular creature. Speaking of today's contest, we may think that biodiversity is associated with forest and rural areas, but no. Biodiversity should also exist in cities and other urban areas. It is equally important for every species residing anywhere. A diversified area leads to a healthy ecosystem. Consequently, it needs our help to develop its potential in accomplishing its beneficial roles and hence to flourish. Today, on this eve of World Environment Day, I am going to portray some aspect related to ichthyodiversity. The term itself means diversity of fish species, and along with this, we will be emphasizing the value of conserving its biodiversity and habitat, mainly focusing on pond. We already know that pond is an aquatic ecosystem which supports multitudes of species of plants, fishes, planktons and many other organisms. Of all these living organisms, fish is the most important one as it is a source of dietary protein and they constitute almost half of the total number of vertebrates in the world. Apart from this, we are familiar that pond also provides a wide range of resources for this human-dominating landscape. The northeastern region of India has mega biodiversity in terms of freshwater hotspots. So maintaining this ichthyodiversity is very important because it is not always possible to identify which species are crucial for the sustainability of aquatic ecosystem. During my survey, I observed some of my neighborhood pond that is in Rangpur, and then I identified very few common fish species which were found in various zones of the pond. In the video itself, we can see that some larval forms were found near the edges of the pond, and therefore I waited quite long to see the small surface feeder fishes, which reminds me of my childhood days. I was so fascinating to catch them, but nowadays they are totally missing in the pond. A great decline is noticeable in not only in this species but in many other varieties. There are a number of reasons behind this loss, such as overfishing for longer period, overuse of pond for household activities, pollutants, destructive interference by human, and a lot more. Commonly found water hyacinth, that is an invasive species, also has an impact on them. And due to urbanization, enormous number of ponds have been vanished from the landscape. And even in rural areas, if you see, ponds are kept for personal use rather than wildlife benefits. It is not surprising that very few people are really concerned for its conservation. It is necessary to keep in mind that the knowledge on impacts from various pollutants as well as ecological interaction enables a better understanding of the roles of ponds in supporting and maintaining the proper aquatic biodiversity. Now, it's time to wake up. There is a clear need for further research on ponds, and as its biodiversity and conservation is one of the major issues of enabling sustainable use of natural resources. That's all. Thank you.
Many people derive great pleasure, fulfillment, and inspiration from watching birds and listening to them. But birds are also an intricate component of ecosystem. They are good indicators of the general state of our biodiversity. When they start disappearing, it means that something is wrong with our environment and that we need to take action. In the pandemic situation, I made a short survey to check the availability of various avian species of my locality, that is Jailro, Silchar. There are different species of birds and most of them do not stay for a long time. Therefore, their proper study is not possible. But still, I got a chance to spot some of them. The most abundant are the common myna, house crow, large-billed crow, and Asian black bulbul. Out of all the trees in our nearby field that I looked for, there was one huge tree that had the maximum number of birds of our area. The common myna and Asian black bulbul could be spotted at any time during the day. They build their nest inside the small holes of the bark of the trees. They spend the whole day in search of food to feed their chicks. The house crow could be seen anywhere in our area. They usually gathered near places where they found food. The large-billed crow are found in huge numbers as well. Both the crows could be seen flying in flocks throughout the day. The Himalayan bulbul, Eurasian tree sparrow, and the Oriental Mackerel robin can be rarely seen in our locality. Maybe they do not come here often because of their fear of being hunted, and also as most of their niche have been destroyed by humans. One female Alexandrine parakeet, which appeared mostly in the afternoon, was also observed during the survey. They came in search of food and flew very quickly from one tree to another. Moreover, the fieldwork amazed me while spotting a beautiful bird called the Asian blue-throated barbet on the same populated tree of the field, which could be hardly seen in other times of the day. I also went to the field at night to find some nocturnal birds, and I saw the brown hawk owl sitting on the goalpost. It flew away after a few snaps. My survey depicts that our locality have a very good number of birds, maybe because people residing nearby do not harm them. But facts remain the same, that birds are still afraid of getting harmed by human activities these days. Therefore, it's our responsibility to let them live freely and maintain peace with them, so that they could fly anywhere without fear and the balance of nature is maintained at its best.
Hello everyone, this is me Binita Sinha, student of Zoology Honours second semester. As this year's theme is biodiversity, so I tried out studying insects in my locality. Increasing human activities and urbanization is continuously affecting our environment. In the animal kingdom, insects deserve special attention because they are the most diverse batch of multicellular organisms. This study was undertaken at a particular patch of Rangirkhari area in Silchar, and the photos and videos that are being shown were taken during this study, which lasted for 10 days, where I had observed few butterflies, moths, beetles, and some other insects. Due to the lockdown, I had to study them from my home. Butterflies serve as one of the active pollinating agents in nature, but as their feeding as well as breeding places are decreasing day by day, they are gradually vanishing from our surroundings. Similarly, beetles, which increase the soil fertility by recycling debris into organic matter, are also scarce in urban areas. I have also observed some insects which are rarely seen in our localities, such as the nymph of lychee stink bug, which is the pest of lychee. Due to the usage of pesticides, these bugs cannot feed themselves and stroll long distances in search of food and pose themselves with the risk of death. Overall, a gradual decline in the diversity of insects has been observed, especially in urban areas. The exact reason is not known yet, but climate change, habitat destruction, hunting, collecting, etc. are indeed responsible. Some authors have reported that the insect population have reduced to almost 1/3 in many areas. The stability of nature relies on the interaction of predators, prey, and parasites, of which the insects form a major group. Unfortunately, we are aware of the negative impacts of insects, even though these have innumerable beneficial roles in the ecosystem. In conclusion, every organism's role is special to this planet, no matter how small or big it is.
Hello everyone, myself Shona Ritwal. So my topic is impact of lockdown on plant species by the roadside.
The other day, when I moved out of my house to buy certain necessities after staying indoors for over 2 months, a sight not usually seen caught my eye. The once empty spaces on the side of the roads seemed greener, and this was also observed by many of my friends in different localities. I kept wondering what had changed during this time that I was indoors. The people of my locality and the whole town has also been staying indoors with minimum activities outside. On a normal day before the COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing lockdown, the daily commotion on the roads, like the people trampling on the plants on the roadside, the smoke and dust from the vehicles depositing on the plants, hindered the normal growth of the plants, thereby not letting them to flourish. Since the lockdown imposed by the government, all these activities have reduced to such a remarkable extent that the plant species along the roads are now able to grow uninterrupted, making the roadsides look greener and flourishing with various plant species now inhabiting the spaces. With the greenery comes the small inhabitants like the various insects and other small animals, for which the green patch of grasses and small plants along the roads serves as natural habitat as well as source of food. This in turn increases the biodiversity richness of the area. Now we know that all this is very short-lived, because after the lockdown ends and normal life resumes, these spaces will again lose its greenery, and the spaces will again be rendered empty and dry. But we can stop this change. We can stop it by reducing our activities even when lockdown ends and giving the plants a little time to rejuvenate in between.
Hello everyone. The theme of this World Environment Day is biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variety and variability of life on earth in all its forms and interactions. I have conducted this study on the scavenging behavior of animals in urban societies. Due to lockdown, this study was restricted in my neighboring areas of Shunai Road at Silchar. Scavenger is an organism that consumes mostly dead or decaying animals, plants, or refused foods. Scavengers are an important part of food web as they keep the ecosystem free of decaying matter and break them down to fine organic materials. Animals such as cows, dogs, cats, rats, and crows are the common scavengers of our society. My study was focused on dogs, cows, cats, and crows. These animals mostly depend on the leftover foods which are dumped in garbage bins. Unfortunately, while eating from bins, they also consume harmful items such as plastics. I have observed that cows feed on cardboards and plastic plates, whereas dogs even drink water from the drain and the stagnant water around the garbage bins. Crows were found to be completely dependent on the leftover foods and anything which is offered by people. These observations implicate serious health concerns of these animals. In the urban areas, it is hard to feed the domestic cows due to unavailability of grazing areas and fooders. Due to hunger, the animals start foraging in garbage bins. Similarly, street dogs, who are generally not fed by anybody, find it tough to collect food, especially in times of lockdown. Although many organizations and individuals step up to feed these animals and mitigate these problems, there are many animals which still suffer. In conclusion, it is suggested that some food should be kept near our home so that these animals can easily eat or feed their young ones who do not forage.
As the world is under a gloomy spell of the deadly coronavirus, that is COVID-19, with almost all the countries over the world under lockdown, there seems to be no relief for mankind at the moment. Scientists all over the world are trying their best to find a cure for this deadly virus and return normalcy in the world as soon as possible. But amidst of all this chaos that mankind is struggling with, nature seems to be reviving all along. Taking an example of our very own Silchar, the honking of the vehicles, the smoke and dust from the roads nearby was a daily occurrence. All of these have reduced to a remarkable extent since lockdown, and this has contributed to the reduce of air and noise pollution level in the environment. The reduced air and noise pollution have in turn helped in bringing back wildlife into the cities. Different occasions of sighting of monkeys, birds, and butterflies of different species have been reported from different localities, which in normal days are a very rare occurrence. It seems as if the wildlife is claiming back what once was theirs. With this, A thought provoked my mind whether all this can be permanent. Can we be able to sustain this beautiful revived nature? Can we, not even after a lockdown, reduce our activities so as to live in harmony with nature? The questions are many, but the answer is only one: yes, we can and we will.
Hello everyone, this is Momina Rijwan Barbuya, a student of Zoology Honours, second semester. As climate is changing because of human actions, life is facing threat everywhere. I have undertaken this study to observe the nesting and foraging behavior of birds in a rural locality. Due to the lockdown, this study was undertaken nearby my home. Nesting is a process by which birds build nests to shelter themselves, lay eggs, and nurture the young ones. Nesting is a common scene during the breeding season. Most of the birds that I observed build their nest in the high end of trees like mango, coconut, etc. And very few were found to build nest in human houses. Birds build nest with twigs, straw, dry leaves, hay, or dry grass. Speaking about foraging behavior of birds, foraging means search for food. I have observed that birds constantly search for food as they require great amount of energy for flying, nesting, and even to feed the young ones. They mostly position themselves in trees or fly around to search for food and eat or bring it to their nest. I have even observed that they feed upon human leftover food, vegetables or fruits that are grown in garden, and sometimes the remains of vegetables or fruit.